I don't think I thought when I was visiting Paris, oh, one day I'll live here. I cannot tell you that I'm one of those people who always dreamed of living in France. That's not true. Welcome to the Americans in Paris. I'm Stephen Heiner, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how I got to Paris and France in the first place. I'd been living and working in America for many years at this point. I originally moved to America when I was 9 with my family. My father was American. He'd always told my mom that was part of the deal. At some point, he wanted to raise his children in America. And so I'd been an American citizen since birth because of my father, but I'd only moved to America since I was 9. So this accent only really dates from 9 years old. In any case, I've been working for many years. And I was actually building a test prep company at the time. So we help students. If you're familiar with American education at all, you have to take these standardized tests to go to undergraduate and graduate school. And I help students prepare for that. And I built a company with other tutors doing that. And in 2012, I sold that company and I was free to really think about what it was that I was wanting to do. That's a conversation for a different time. And I'll put a link in the description to a book review I did on the 4 Hour Work Week, which was one of those books that really pushed the way that I thought about building a business and what the goal of it was. The idea of doing what it was that I wanted to do was always this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. When I sell my business, then I'll figure out what it was that I wanted to do. And what it did was it uncovered, unbeknownst to me, a real desire to do something in France. I'd always had a love for France. I tell people about the fact that when there were audio cassettes, I had bought, with the limited money I had, a book on tape on how to learn French via cassette. When I was a freshman in high school, I gave a speech dressed up as Louis XIV. And I didn't know French at the time, so I had just written out the speech. A friend translated it and then coached me on the pronunciation. And so I just memorized the pronunciation. So there was always a love of French history. This idea of it being old and refined and Catholic really drew me in. It was a land of so many saints. And when I sold my business, I thought, okay, well, I can finally go and get to know France a bit better. I had visited Paris in 2009 and had gotten to know it better, and I'd visited again since then. I don't think I even really considered the possibility of living in Europe full time until I'd sold that business. I had lived in Rome as a student during my sophomore year at college, but again, I enjoyed that and I never thought I was going to go back and live. But selling the business led to my being free and giving me the ability to do something that I previously thought not possible. So I had to figure out, how can I go to France? I knew that I needed permission. Having been an immigrant one time myself, coming to the United States, even though I had citizenship, I was still an immigrant. I now had to figure out, how do I immigrate to another country where I don't have citizenship? And back in 2012, there was not a lot of information on the internet available. I really had to scrounge around and then figure it out myself. And once I did, I thought I might as well. I've been a writer for many years. My undergraduate degree is in English literature. So I thought I might as well chronicle this, put it up on the website so that people can learn. They can print out my article and then get the visa themselves. And for a while, that's what people did. And I would get emails from people saying, thank you so much. I printed out your article. I followed everything. And now I have my visa. And can I buy you a cup of coffee next time I'm in Paris? I was, oh, great. Awesome. Free cups of coffee. No problem. And then that led to, hey, I read your article. Can you help me? I'm willing to pay you. And I thought, you want to pay me? Yeah, sure. That's fine. And over time, that led to various consultations, which then developed over time into courses and a book. This book here, 29 Days to France. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. People ask the same questions over and over, so it's very easy to just put that into a course, put that into a book, and help people come to France with way more information than I ever had and way more context. There are so many times I'll see these days news stories of people saying, oh, I should have done my homework. And, I'm moving back to America after 2 years. And I just thought to myself, I had none of the resources, none of the Facebook groups, none of those things available. If you say you didn't do your homework, it just meant that you literally didn't do your homework, because there are so many videos and articles, and I'm hoping to contribute to that now, even though I've been contributing since 2012. That's what the American in Paris is all about. If you don't know about that website, that is what is the springboard for the Americans, Molly and myself in Paris, that it started just as my own journey, my personal blog, Heroes My Life in Paris. And then over time, I met people and we started collaborating. And then it became a project of other people, other Americans in Paris, giving their perspective. So the website say the same. It's still The American in Paris. But this YouTube channel is a riff on that, the Americans in Paris, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my journey with you. So I got my visa. I told everybody I was only going to stay for a year. I said I don't know if they'll kick me out. I don't know. I didn't even know how to renew a visa at that point. I just thought I at least have a year. I'm going to go. We'll see how it works out. And I ended up staying for 10 years. And it was the best 10 years of my life to date. Who knows though, there might be another 10-year period coming up that's even better. I help people now as a passion project because I have other projects that I work on that pay the bills. But as a passion project, I consult and help people put together plans for moving to France. I help them stay in France. I help them change their different plans in France. And if you're interested in that, there's a link to do consultations below, at least to inquire about it, for me to see if I can just point you to the website. Our website is chock full of information. So maybe we've already answered your question and you can just do it yourself based on the information we give. But if you have particular questions or you have a unique situation or you just want to have someone talk you through the process, we can help you with consultations. There's a course on that website. And as I said here, this book that I co-authored with two other wonderful people, which will walk you through different exercises. There are 29 exercises, 29 days on what you'll need to know before you come to France. And links to everything are in the description. And as I say, look forward to sharing more with you. Till next time, à bientôt.